everyone in the Cure Center and in my group, which I'll be posting in a few minutes. So I wanted to come on, I know it's a little late for me actually, and give you just one other trance exercise. Now I had already posted the first trance exercise to help get you into trance, and I also made a post discussing some of, sorry about that we'd want to get into trance. So I use this a lot, particularly when I'm doing any kind of manifesting work, okay? This is part of what I do. And I made a list in the top of this post, I think, of some of the steps that I use personally that have worked for me. So the first thing is getting into that state of trance. And the reasons are, as I noted in the previous post a few days ago, you know, it helps you to access that subconscious, your subconscious a little bit easier. It helps to change those brain waves from, I think, alpha to theta, but I could be very wrong on that. So don't quote me on that. I can never get them right. So this is a different trance exercise that you can use. If the one with the clary sage and frankincense, hey Mia, doesn't appeal to you, or you don't have those or anything like that. And this is how I do my manifesting, okay? And so one of the ways you can do it is to get some kind of a crystal. And I like to use this because it's really sparkly. It's one of those crystals that are kind of beveled all around, okay? But you can use any kind of crystal, particularly though a quartz crystal or something that is shiny, something that is clear and shiny. That's the ticket. That's the key, okay? And what you want to do is you want to use some kind of a black background. So when I do it, I've got this. Kyle, yep. Enough. And you can also use, I have black. Hi, Steph. I know, I haven't been out in a while. We're trying to move, so I'm kind of spending my days packing and, you know, doing stuff like that, making calls and turning on, you know, electricity, and I'm turning off electricity and all this business. But soon it'll be over. So, you know, sometimes you get pouches for your crystals or things like that. Or when you're doing mojo bags, you have pouches. So grab something black or dark, and you want to put your crystal on there, okay? And what you want to do is you want to do this in dim lighting particularly, okay? And you're going to want to do it in such a way where you're looking down at the crystal and you're kind of not focusing on the crystal. Even though it's shiny and we want something shiny, you don't want to really necessarily focus on the crystal, because the objective isn't to look into that crystal. In this case, it's not to look into that crystal to see things or anything like that. That is scrying and that is cool and that is something totally different. The objective here is to kind of get yourself in that trance state. So you're more looking past the crystal onto the dark background, okay? So you want to gaze past it, and you may want to cup your hands around it because that kind of blocks out some of the other light. And you're just going to look down and stare at that for a little bit. And eventually you'll notice that, you know, your vision starts getting, you know, you start getting like where you're seeing it blurry and things like that. And that's fine. That's the ticket. Hi, Christy. That means you're getting yourself into that slight state of trance, okay? Once you do that, and you want to do that for about 5 minutes a day when you're trying to manifest something in particular. You know, I don't ever look in a mirror, obviously. And this is pretty much when I do, when I'm looking here or when somebody FaceTimes me, that I'm like, oh man. So, you do that for about 5 minutes a day. You can extend it as you continue to do it. You can extend the minutes that you're doing it if you want, you know, when you're doing a meditation, that's fine. Don't really go longer than an hour, really, because there's really no point to that, okay? So start with just 5 minutes a day, and it's sufficient. Trust me, this works for me. So then what you want to do is, I like the nerdy one. There's so many cool filters, but some of them I'm like, well, I can't talk and look like this, like Star Wars or whatever. It's neat though. So what you want to do is do your trance, get yourself in that slight trance state, and then you want to put out to the universe that which you're trying to manifest, and say it in a way that's positive. You don't want to say it in a way that's a negative. So you don't want to say, I don't want any debt, because all the universe is hearing is debt. dead, okay? You want to formulate your statement or your words in a positive way, okay? Put it out there. And then for about 5 minutes while you're doing this, you want to visualize. This is just, to me, it's daydreaming or using your imagination, okay? Visualize seeing that what you want. So for me, we're moving, and if I wanted to visualize a smooth transition, a smooth move, then that's what I would be doing. Is I wouldn't be, my statement that I'm putting out there would not be, I don't want any trouble with the move. It would be, we're going to have a smooth move to our new place, okay? And I'm going to visualize, the U-Haul trucks, and we're driving them, and there's no issues, and we can park it correctly when we stop for gas, and all these things, and time-wise will be perfect. I'm just going to visualize that for about 5 minutes. After I'm visualizing, because that's using my head, after I visualize that scenario, what I want to do is feel what it's going to feel like. So I want to add the emotional component. So I'm going to really feel how good it feels to actually get that move done quickly, with no stress, with no aches and pains, things like that. And then I'm going to be done, and I'm going to go about my day as if that is a given. That is just a fact, that things are going to happen exactly the way I envisioned them. I'm just going to go about my days like that. Okay, so that's where I'm acting like it. I'm acting like it's happened already, and I'm continuing to take those steps towards that goal. Okay, and I'm also going to give, because I also posted that it's important to give to make more room for those things, right, that you're trying to get or that you're trying to manifest in your life. So in this case, for moving, I'm not really wanting to get anything tangible or particular, but I would, and I will, be giving anyway, clearing out the clutter, bringing things to Goodwill, donating them or giving them to other people, just to make room for the universe to bring in something more, okay? So those are my tips for successful manifesting that have worked for me, that continue to work for me. And it's another way you can use trance, okay, to get yourself in that state of trance, which can also be useful for meditation. For people that have difficulty meditating or staying in meditation, or even, being able, because I know this was my issue years ago, sitting there, I could sit quietly, but my mind is going all over the place when I was doing that. I mean, it just wasn't staying focused. So using your crystal, any shiny, preferably quartz crystal, okay, on a black surface or a black cloth, and just looking down on it in dim light and gazing past the crystal onto the black cloth until you kind of start seeing things a little bit blurry, okay? And focus and visualize on that you want to manifest. Okay? So, I challenge you to give that a shot and see how you make out with it, and let me know how it works for you. Also, if you have any other tips that help you get into that trance state for meditating or for manifesting, share those as well in the comments below. And I thank you all for coming on, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.